Hi, gang. This is Heather Gill with eXp Realty, and today I have the privilege and honor of talking to HR Heidi Torres. She's an incredible HR generalist and an author. She works with Heron HR, which is in Richardson, Texas. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk to you and hear more about what you've got going on. You're doing some incredible work with HR, and you've got a book coming out. So just give us some background. Tell us a little bit more about who you are, maybe what got you into HR, and definitely tell us about this book you're writing.
So a few years ago, I actually was working for a retailer, and the last position with them was an HR supervisor role. Apparently it was the only role I hadn't had left, didn't have. And so they're like, hey, you want to be an HR supervisor? And I fell in love with what I was doing. I mean, I loved training the employees. I loved hiring them. And it was just so much fun that my husband actually asked me, he's like, so what are you going to do about it? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, if this is really what you love to do, what are you going to do to be more HR? And I was like,
Right.
what do I need to do? Right. So I went back to school. I went to TWU, got my bachelor's in HR management, got certified. And in the process, though, it was kind of one of those things that I had to grow my network, because they told me it was really sad for a HR person to only have 42 connections on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay. So I did. I just organically started learning how to network and grow my network. And then I had classmates and colleagues asking me, how are you doing this? And, it's one of those things where people say, if people keep coming back and asking you the same question, maybe you should do something about that.
Okay.
So I was like, well, maybe I need to write a book. I mean, maybe I need to share my secrets.
Okay.
And so I did. I wrote the CEOs of networking, which stand for connecting, engaging, and the opportunities to serve. I know, right? But I didn't write this from an expert networker, because I'm not. I don't think I'm an expert networker. I'm still learning. But I interviewed and researched expert networkers along with my own spin of things. So yes, that's kind of what we did. And through networking is actually how I landed my current role at Heron HR. So I love it there.
Okay, awesome. So it sounds like this book just kind of birthed out of your experiences.
It did. Right when I was graduating, it was in the middle, or I guess at this point now, the beginnings of the pandemic. And so, 18 million people, boom, were unemployed, right?
Right.
And here I am also unemployed at the time. And I actually decided in my last semester of school, going back to school, that I was going to do something not just to help me, but to help other people, because there's just so many people that were in need.
Right.
And I thought, well, it makes me think about that quote, one of my favorite quotes from Mother Teresa. Not that I'm at all Mother Teresa, but one of my favorite quotes is, if you can't feed hundreds, feed one. And what I got from that is, if you can't help hundreds, help one.
Right.
All right. I thought I could do better than one, though. So I actually started HR Heidi Heads Up.
Okay.
And that was kind of my program where I was going to help at least 20 people, like 20 people in 2020, land a job. And that was either by sharing resources or connections or networking or opportunities for different roles that I did hear about through the connections that I was growing and have grown. And so, obviously it was only going to be like a summer project last year that I have continued even now, and helped more than 100 people land jobs.
Nice.
And so partly because of that, I was building my own credibility as an HR specialist, generalist, leader, and ultimately landed my job.
I love that. So you called it Heidi's Heads Up?
Yes, and I still post on LinkedIn, And occasionally you'll see it on my Instagram and Twitter pages, but
Okay.
I will post different roles that I hear about from other connections.
Okay.
And sometimes just things that I've just postings. I'll just share other postings about it, say, hey, you can apply here too. But yeah, totally. I still keep track of a group of people that are looking for roles. And so sometimes more specific, I'll keep looking out for roles for what they're looking for, and then
Sure.
share that with HR Heidi Heads Up.
Love it. So you're running that. That's your own little program. It sounds like a really neat program you're running. And you're running that kind of a LinkedIn, and then you use a couple of other social avenues to get the word out and try to get leads, it sounds.
Exactly.
Very
Yes.
good. Yeah, 20 and 2020. That's clever. I love it.
So it's been great. I mean, obviously it's grown past the 20, but it's a lot of fun. So you can, obviously do a lot of hashtag HR Heidi Heads Up. And then from there, it kind of grew into HR Heidi Highlights
Okay.
on my YouTube channel. So yes, there I was highlighting, initially started out, I highlighted people in transition, why people should hire them. And
Okay.
I will say at this point, it's 100% success rate. Every one of them have landed.
That's cool to know. So for those of you watching this video, if you need a job, maybe you should reach out to Heidi. Just saying. Sounds like you got a pretty cool method that you're using there.
Well, they say that videos definitely get more noticed on social media, right? And a lot of people are just super scared of being on the videos by themselves.
Right.
So I call it a gateway video. So it's like, let
Ooh.
me kind of be on the video with you and help facilitate that. So yeah. And then now recently, I've had a lot of different networkers and different industry leaders share about their experiences also as highlights too. So
That's awesome. I love that. Now, I know you've got this book that you're writing. It's still in the process, but tell us just real quick, are y'all expecting a certain drop date? What can they expect from this book you're writing?
So August 30th is the drop date. Okay. And I will be having a launch party a couple of weeks after that. We just completed a pre-launch campaign. So I've actually pre-sold over 200 copies of my book.
Very good.
So it's been a lot of fun. We actually did a little challenge. I told my pre-sale buyers, or what we also call beta readers, because they will actually get excerpts of my book before anyone else.
Okay.
But I had a challenge that if I reached more than 200 beta readers, that they could choose what color I was going to dye my hair.
Ooh, dye the hair challenge. So what color did you decide yet?
So the votes are still coming in.
Okay.
The top 3 colors is purple, magenta, and the third color, I don't know if you want to call it a color, but it's a urban camo. So I think it's like urban blue, camo, black, and gray.
That'll be fun. I can't wait to see the photo shoot when that happens.
So I mean, this Friday I'm actually dyeing my hair with the final results. So we'll see.
Oh my gosh, please let me know. That's going to be incredible. I think that's a fun challenge and a fun way to really engage people with what you're doing. So very clever. I love it. That's awesome. Now I know you've got some awesome things to talk about with this question. So this is the bonus question. So you ready for the bonus question? It's easy. Okay, think WWF or whatever they call them, WWA. I don't even know what they call themselves these days. But if you were a professional wrestler and you had a theme song for your entrance, what would that theme song be?
Kind of funny. I actually do have a theme song.
Okay.
I don't know how well it would play because I don't know if it would give the confidence for the wrestling part of it.
Okay.
But my theme song is High Hopes by Panic at the Disco.
Oh, that's one of my favorite songs. It's on my Spotify playlist when I need one of those, like, get in the mood kind of things. Yeah, I love it. That's a great song. That's a great song to get out there and wrestle around on the mat to.
So what is your theme song?
Oh, my gosh. Man, that would be a good one. Absolutely. There's a song by Fits in the Tantrums I just found that I forgot the name of it. It's like Today's Going to Be My Day or something like that, but it's a cool song. Oh, it's called I Just Want to Shine. That's what it's called. Great song. You should look it up. Kind of in the same kind of vibe as the Panic in the Disco song you mentioned. Yeah.
I will look that up.
Very
Sounds
good.
nice.
I love it. Music's my jam, so good times. I would love for you to share briefly with my audience here, what are some words of wisdom? If you had to impart just words of wisdom, like Mr. Miyagi, like kind of thing, what would you share? What would that be?
I would say that it's never too late to network, or
Okay.
actually what I would call net friending. And so basically, when you build your connections with other people, I think networking gets a bad rap because people think it's very self-serving, or they think of just handing
Right.
out business cards or something like that.
Right.
And it really shouldn't be that way, right? I think networking, if you give yourself first for like to help someone else, it is so much easier to build a relationship.
Right.
And your friendship, because you think about when you make friends, right? It never started out with, "Hey, do something for me." They probably wouldn't be your friend if that's
Right.
the way it was, right? So reaching out, and then it kind of goes into like my book when I said opportunity to serve.
Okay.
I firmly believe that volunteering, serving your community, serving a cause that helps others is the best way to network and grow your friendships and relationships, which is actually why I volunteer and sit on the Walk to End Alzheimer's for the Grayson County.
Nice.
Thank you. Yes. My father passed away from Alzheimer's. So it was one of those things that they provided wonderful resources for me during the journey that I had with him. And because I felt those resources were so beneficial and I wanted other people to have access and to know about it, is why I started volunteering.
Okay.
And made wonderful connections and relationships that's helped me even in my HR career or even with my book. So outside of that, it was a way to bond and build those relationships and yeah, opportunity to serve.
I love that. No, there's so many wonderful nonprofits here in North Texas and across the globe, really. And Alzheimer's is is just one of those diseases. It's hard. It's a really hard disease to watch your family go through. Yeah, man.
Anyone.
I know, right. So I'm glad to hear that you do you sit on the board or do you just volunteer?
I volunteer, but I lead their mission committee.
Oh, good.
So yes, definitely want to get out there, want to hear other people's reasons for being a part of the Alzheimer's Association, and just really get the word out, the story out of why it's important, and understanding that it's not just an old person's disease.
Sure.
And it affects more than just your memory.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's complicated. Yep. It's a complicated thing, but that's incredible. I'm glad to hear that. I think that that's something we could all do a little bit more of, is volunteering and just give of ourselves, for sure.
Yes.
So HR Heidi Torres, I appreciate your time. Let me wrap it up here by sharing some information about you. As she mentioned, she's got a book coming out soon. If you want to reach her about HR issues or questions, or maybe you need help finding a position right now, her phone number and her email and her LinkedIn information is there on the screen. So reach out to her through one of those methods, or right, because there's more. You can go to her website. It's there. It's www.hrheidi.com. That was fun. You can go there. You can sign up for her newsletter. She gets a newsletter out, so you can get updated on what she's doing professionally and hear about her book and all those other fun things. And then you can check her out on all those social channels there. Heidi, I so appreciate your time. I've got more people to go talk to, more places to visit, but thank you so much.